Thank you. Thank you. You might have noticed this little guy when I walked up here. Now let's just say this little guy is you. And let's say this building is 50 feet off the ground. Let's say that this is 40 feet off the ground. Let's furthermore say that your friends have already jumped to that. You are the last person to jump. It's up to you to make it. So, what do? You jump. You run and jump. Your inertia carries you 5 feet forward and you are now 50 feet off the ground. Then, what is parkour? I have been doing parkour since I was 10 years old. And since then, I've had countless memories and injuries. And I still do it. Why? Well, I'll explain to you in these 3 sections. What is parkour? What makes it dangerous? And what makes it worth it? Let's start off with, what is parkour? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it defines parkour as the sport of traversing environmental objects by running, climbing, or leaping rapidly and efficiently. At least, that's what they thought in 2002. Move on to 2014. Wonderopolis says that parkour is a non-competitive sport that involves efficient movement around obstacles. Participants are called trossers, males, and trosses as females. Move through the environment, such as city streets, by vaulting, rolling, running, climbing, and jumping on or over obstacles. In today's culture, it is more defined as getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. It doesn't have to be fancy, it's just getting from one place to the other as fast as possible. This oftentimes can be risky, and that's why you do flips. Flips add more stability and control over the jump that you're doing. And let's be honest, it literally does just look 100% cooler. And one more thing, before you think that I'm thinking about one type of flip, I'm talking about back flips and front flips. Okay, moving on. What makes parkour dangerous? Well, first of all, it's an extreme sport. And by frontiers.org, an extreme sport is a sport where one has to accept the possibility of severe injury or death as an inherent part of the activity. And just by hearing that, you probably are thinking, why would I do this? And I'll get to that. But before that, one more thing. You can also get in trouble with the law. That is something that you never want to do. So these are some things that you can avoid. One thing that you are doing, on public property, you always want to make sure that no people are really around you, otherwise they will call you out most of the time. And another thing is always stay off of private property, because if you're on private property, somebody can easily call you out from afar. Okay, what makes it worth it? Well, for most people, it's the feeling. The feeling of adrenaline rushing through your body and your heart pounding like 100 times more than it usually should. Not really, but you know what I'm getting at. When you are 50 feet off the ground, your body is racing so hard, your adrenaline is pumping, that memory is stuck in you forever. And that's why a lot of people do it. Another reason why is money. If you do YouTube, you can make money off of that. Or if you are a professional, you can do tournaments and make money off of that. Though I would not suggest it because you only make around $25,000 roughly a year. Really depends on the person. Okay, in conclusion, we have covered what parkour is, what makes it dangerous, and what makes it worth it. Now, back to the story. You have now made it 5 feet off of your jumping point, and your inertia stops pushing you. It is now up to the wind to push you that last few inches, and it does. You land with all your friends, and they are just jumping with you up and down. They're clapping with you, and you guys have a great rest of the day. Maybe you guys go eat boba. You just go have fun.